What's up everybody, I'm HoopsandHipHop, and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee are legitimately less than a week away. This is not a drill, everybody. This is not a drill. It seems like the wait time for these games has just absolutely flown by, and it seems like 6 months ago back in May, when these games were first revealed, was just literally yesterday. So I am just so unbelievably excited for Pokemon Let's Go to come out. However, with that being said, it's obviously been very notable that there's a good chunk of the fan base that are not happy with these games, and even some who have said that they're just not even going to play them at all. These fans, who have been very vocal about their opinion, have stated that they're going to skip the Let's Go games and just wait for the Generation 8 games coming out next year. And while we're about to embark on another Kanto journey, and I am very excited about that, and YouTube as well as my own channel is about to have a lot of Kanto and Let's Go themed content, I do recognize that there are people out there that aren't as excited about it, and so I want to appease and accommodate those people as well. So today we're gonna kind of balance the two topics and talk about 4 major things that the Let's Go games have actually revealed about Generation 8. In developer interviews, as well as in some of the more fine details about these games, there have been things that have both been directly and indirectly revealed about Generation 8 through the coverage of Pokemon Let's Go. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today, to simultaneously get hyped about the Let's Go games coming out next week, but also get hyped about what's to come as well next year for some people that might not be as excited about the new games. Now, while these details don't give us a crystal clear picture as to what Generation 8 is going to look like, it does give us some things that we can look forward to and kind of makes the image of the generation and the new games as a whole slightly less blurry, and is just basically stuff to get really hyped over. So with all of that being said, why don't we go ahead and just check it out. The first major point on this list that Let's Go has actually revealed about Generation 8 is that the Generation 8 Pokemon games most likely are going to have photorealistic graphics. That's right, I said photorealistic graphics. The reason why we can say that this is most likely going to be the case is because in an interview with IGN, one of the lead artists of the Let's Go games, Kensaku Nabana, said that originally the Let's Go games themselves had photorealistic graphics, and that's what they were going with in the early stages of development for these games. However, once they established that they wanted these games to be more inviting and be more of an entry-level title, they decided to go with the art style that they now have so as not to intimidate any potential new coming players. Now, obviously, this interview and this quote doesn't say anything directly about Generation 8, but if you think about it, it's pretty easy to infer that Generation 8 is going to have these photorealistic graphics if you do a simple deduction on this quote and analyze it a little bit. Basically, because even Let's Go was going to go with these photorealistic graphics, and the only reason they changed to a different art style was because they wanted the games to be less intimidating and more inviting to new coming players, pretty much more or less confirms that we're going to get those photorealistic graphics in Generation 8, because we know Generation 8 is going to be a more traditional Pokemon game, and it's not going to worry about being inviting, and it's not going to worry about accompanying or accommodating for entry-level players. So if they were originally going with this photorealistic graphical style for the Let's Go games, it obviously shows that they want to use it, and because you don't have to worry about that inviting sort of theme for Generation 8, all but really just confirms in my mind that that's what they're going to go with for the Generation 8 titles. Another thing that backs up this claim is that it was stated around about the time that Let's Go was revealed and the announcement of Generation 8 was made, is that the Generation 8 games are going to have the best graphics of any Pokemon game. Another thing that backs up this statement is that around about the time that Let's Go was revealed, it was also stated for Generation 8 that those Pokemon games are going to have the best graphics of any Pokemon game ever. And while this could be easily assumed, given we're making the jump from the 3DS to the Switch, which is way more powerful, you also have to include Let's Go in that comparison as well, because they announced Let's Go and revealed its graphics around about the same time. So really what this does is begin to paint a picture that we are about to see some absolutely beautiful and graphically amazing Pokemon games come this time next year. The next thing that has been indirectly revealed about Generation 8 came recently in an interview with Junichi Masuda on Pokemon.com, and that is the fact that Junichi Masuda is not going to be the director for the Generation 8 games. In the interview with Pokemon.com, Masuda stated, who is the director of the Let's Go games, that these games would most likely be the last mainline Pokemon games that he serves as director for, because as he said, it's important for the younger generation of Game Freak to take over the development of the Pokemon games going forward. Now, this is definitely a huge deal because Masuda is one of the most important people in terms of the development of the Pokemon franchise and literally just one of the most important people to Pokemon as a whole, since he has literally been here since the beginning. Now, while Masuda not being the director of the Generation 8 games does not mean by any stretch of the imagination that these are going to be bad games, because there have been plenty of mainline Pokemon games that he has not directed, like Pokemon Gold and Silver, Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and Pokemon Sun and Moon that have all ended up great. However, it does speak a lot to the potential style that Generation 8 could take, because as director, you have a lot of influence over that sort of thing, and we have a perfect example of the type of power the director can have in a game that Masuda himself directed, and that would be Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. Ruby and Sapphire are a pair of games that Masuda did serve as the director for, and Masuda is literally the reason why the Hoenn region is the way it is in those games, because he drew a ton on his personal experiences from his childhood in order to make this region. Not only is the Hoenn region based on an area where Masuda went and spent time as a child, but the reason why Hoenn is this tropical area is because he went to the region of Japan that Hoenn is based on vacation many times as a kid, which is where this tropical theme came from. So Ruby and Sapphire are the perfect example of the power and influence that a director can have on not only the development of the games, but the development of a brand new region like we are going to see in Generation 8. So while we don't know who is going to be the director of these games, it just goes to show you how much power the director has, and hopefully whoever the director is picks a good inspiration and a good direction to take the franchise in this next huge step. Now, this next point is a simple one, but I feel like it needs to be reiterated because the Pokemon Let's Go haters are quick to forget this, even though they supposedly are looking forward so much to Generation 8 and are paying attention to that instead of Let's Go. During the initial press conference and reveal for the Let's Go games, it was revealed about the Generation 8 game that it is going to follow in the style of X and Y and Sun and Moon, which basically just means that it's going to be a more traditional mainline Pokemon game as opposed to the experimental mainline Pokemon game that Let's Go is. Now, while this has been known literally since the beginning because this statement was made at the same time that Let's Go was revealed, it seems that so many people are easy to forget it because I have seen so many comments saying that Let's Go needs to sell bad so they don't have any influence over future games or Generation 8 or Diamond and Pearl remakes or whatever. If you paid attention, you would know that that is never going to happen. Even though the Pokemon Company have came out and said literally almost verbatim that the Let's Go titles are not going to have any influence whatsoever on the Generation 8 games, Junichi Masuda has literally said himself that if the Let's Go games sell well, it only speaks to the possibility of more Let's Go games for the other regions like Johto, Hoenn, and so on, and is not going to touch the main core RPGs. Like, that is the whole reason why they announced the specifics of the core RPG at the same time they announced Let's Go, so people wouldn't have these assumptions. But yet, people seem like they want to have selective hearing and just kind of put that criticism on Let's Go anyway, just to kind of have another reason to hate it. And if I may get just a little bit real here for a second, even though the people who don't like the Let's Go games have every single right in the world to have that opinion, the excessive and uninformed hatred and the desire to bring down these titles is killing the enjoyment for the people who are actually looking forward to these games, and that is extremely frustrating. It's like, don't worry, you're going to get your Generation 8 game next year, everything's gonna be okay, just let us enjoy these games if we want to enjoy them, and we'll let you sit over here and be mad and grumpy. It's really not that hard of a thing to do. And the last thing on this list that has both been directly revealed about Generation 8 and has been indirectly revealed about Generation 8 comes from the CEO of the Pokemon Company himself, Tsunekazu Ishihara, in an interview with IGN. Around the time that Pokemon Let's Go was first revealed, they were also giving us little bits and pieces about the Generation 8 titles as well, so we obviously didn't have to worry about the direction of the Pokemon franchise. With that being said though, Tsunekazu Ishihara said in an interview with Famitsu that in the next Pokemon games, Generation 8, there are going to be, quote, many new Pokemon. Now, the term many is obviously very vague and could mean a lot of different things depending on the context that you're using. Does many mean more than Generation 7 or Generation 6, since we only had 80 Pokemon and 72 Pokemon respectively? Is it going to be more in the hundreds range, like we've seen in the past, or is it going to be in the 80 range and you're just saying many new Pokemon because, objectively speaking, 80 new Pokemon is still technically a lot, even if it's not a lot by previous standards of Pokemon. So yeah, basically in short, there's going to be plenty of new Pokemon in these games. However, another interesting thing that we can infer about the Pokemon specifically in terms of their designs is that they're not going to look anything like the style of the new Pokemon Melton and Melmetal that we got in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Melton is another thing about the Let's Go games that has been very divisive because since the official reveal, the community has basically been split in half, and there's people that think that Melton is adorable and there's people that think that Melton is terrible and basically spells the end of the Pokemon franchise as we know it, because clearly Game Freak has ran out of ideas for good Pokemon. However, everyone just needs to hold their horses because the look of Melton does not indicate by any sense whatsoever what the Pokemon of Generation 8 moving forward are going to look like, because it was specifically stated in an interview that the design for Melton was conceptualized as a simple design because they wanted it to coincide with the Kanto Pokedex, since that's where it's going to debut in the Kanto region, because many of the Kanto Pokemon have a very simple design and they wanted this Pokemon to reflect that style so it fit in with the rest of the Kanto Pokemon better. And obviously Generation 8 is not going to have that consideration because it's literally a whole new world that's being built from the ground up that's going to have its own unique themes and ideas, and the Pokemon of that generation are also going to reflect these themes and ideas. And if you know anything about Game Freak, they like to get pretty sophisticated with their themes and ideas, as we've seen in Generation 7 and Generation 6 with all of this alchemy mumbo jumbo. So basically we have a ton of very well thought out and amazing Pokemon to look forward to, and no one needs to worry or panic. And there we have it, everybody. Now, even though I am extremely excited for Pokemon Let's Go, I am also excited for Generation 8 as well, and since we have learned some things about Generation 8 through Let's Go, it seemed like the perfect opportunity to talk about both of them, since there are people that are partial to both sides. If you guys enjoyed the video though, be sure to give it a like and let me know down in the comments below what you are most excited for. Are you excited for Let's Go? Are you excited for Generation 8? What do you want to see in the Generation 8 games? Just let me know all your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more Pokemon content every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. There's going to be a ton of Let's Go stuff coming in the next week, including my Let's Play, which I'm very excited for, but we're also going to have regular videos that cover Let's Go as well, including just like fact videos, Easter egg videos, just literally everything under the sun you can think of. But I do realize that there are some of you out there that aren't as excited for Let's Go, so there are going to be some regular traditional videos as well that don't have to do with Let's Go or Kanto or anything like that, so everyone can be happy. With all that being said though, I will be back on Tuesday for another video, so be sure to hit that notification bell so you can know as soon as it goes live. And in the meantime, if you need some tunes on this weekend, be sure to check out my Spotify for all my Pokemon remixes. I just dropped a Zinnia's Sorrow remix that personally I feel is one of the greatest remixes I have ever made, so I strongly suggest and recommend and hope that you will check that out. And I'm also almost to 10,000 listeners on Spotify. I hit 9,000 the other day, and I'd really like to hit 10,000 by the end of the year. That'd be really cool. So if you guys can go check that out and help me out with that, I will be eternally grateful. With all that being said though, like I said, new video next Tuesday. Be here for it. I love you guys, and until then, I will smell you guys later.